Hello, all my fellow crochet lovers. It's Sarah with Mama's Got Mojo. Are you feeling swanky today? I sure hope so, because I am going to show you how to crochet the Swanky chicken trivet. To get started, you are going to need about 150 yards of your favorite worsted weight cotton yarn. I really love Dishy. This is Knit Picks Dishy in the color Creme Brulee. I love Dishy because it is really, really soft and easy on the hands, and it makes a really beautiful trivet, as you can see. We are also going to need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and 2 crochet hooks. USK 10.5. This is a 6.5 millimeter hook. We also need a USG 6. This is a 4 millimeter hook. Hey guys, disregard all of the mess on my hands. I tried to scrub them before this video, but you know what? My fellow crafters will understand this because I have been working for the last 2 days on painting my daughter's dressers, and I'm a mess now. But you guys get it, right? All right, let's start. To get started, you're going to hold 2 strands of yarn together. Make a magic ring. I take my 2 fingers and wrap the yarn from the back to the front and to the back and then the front again, and pinch where they intersect. Then I just insert my hook, hold the top there, yarn over, and make a chain stitch. Crochet 6 single crochet into the ring. And then take the tail and pull the ring tight to close. Pull it really tight so we don't have a hole in the middle of our chicken body when we're all done. Now we are going to increase in each stitch around. It's going to be really, really helpful to use a stitch marker while making the chicken trivet because we're going to crochet the whole thing in a spiral without chaining or joining rounds. I like to use a safety pin for my stitch marker. Now, in order to find the first stitch of your magic ring, sometimes it kind of gets lost in the yarn there when we pull the ring tight. I count 6 stitches back from my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's your first stitch right there. Go ahead and place 2 single crochet in each stitch around. Pull that ring tight again, and don't forget to mark your first stitch with your stitch marker. At the end of this round, you're going to end up with 12 single crochets. Okay, for round number 3, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and repeat that around. This is a little trick I use to make sure that my magic ring does not eventually come unraveled. I take the tail and the working yarn, all of the strands, and work them together into one stitch to kind of anchor that magic ring. That's just something I like to do. I've never had a magic ring come unraveled, so I think it works pretty good. Okay, now continue with your increase and single crochet until the end of the row. All right, at the end of this round, you're going to have 18 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Perfect. For round number 4, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then increase. Repeat that around. Now from here, we're going to start staggering our increases in order to make a nice rounded circle. So for round number 5, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, increase in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the following 2. And we're going to repeat that pattern around the entire circle. So here we go again. We're going to start the repeat again. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet. After your last increase, you're going to have 2 more stitches. Work a single crochet into each of those. And at the end of this round, you're going to have 30 single crochet. For round 6, we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase, and then single crochet. We'll repeat that around. So here it is again, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Don't forget that stitch marker. One, 2, 3, increase, and then single crochet. After your final increase, you'll have 1 stitch left. Go ahead and work a single crochet into that stitch for a total of 36 single crochet around. For round 7, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and repeat that around. So increase, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. At the end of round 7, you're going to end up with 42 single crochet. And see how we're getting a pretty nice even circle for the most part? Okay, for round 8, you're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase in the 4th stitch, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches again. Repeat that around. After your last increase, you're going to have 3 stitches remaining. Go ahead and single crochet into each of those stitches. At the end of this round, you're going to have 48 single crochet. For round 9, we're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches and then increase. We'll repeat that pattern all the way around. So single crochet in the next 7. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and increase. Now we're going to start over with our 7 single crochets and then an increase. We end this round with an increase for a total of 54 single crochet. For round 10, we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches, increase, and then single crochet in the next 4 stitches. And we'll be repeating that pattern all the way around. So single crochet in the next 4. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and then single crochet in the next 4. Repeat that pattern all the way around. After your last increase, you'll need to do 4 more single crochets. For a total of 60 single crochets at the end of this round. Round 11, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 9 stitches, and repeat that pattern all the way around. So increase, we're going to put 2 single crochet in this first stitch. Don't forget to mark your first stitch with your stitch marker. And now 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At the end of this round, you will have 66 single crochet. All right, we've made it to our last round of the chicken body. This is round 12. For the repeat in this round, we're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches, then increase, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and we'll repeat that pattern around. After your last increase, you will do 3 more single crochets at the end of your round for a total of 72 single crochets. Look at that, a nice round chicken body. The head of the chicken can be a little bit tricky. Some people struggle with this part, so I'm going to walk you through it pretty thoroughly here. To start, we're going to take our stitch marker and put it in the same stitch as the last stitch of our last round. So right here next to your last stitch. Now chain 2. Turn your work so that the wrong side of the stitches is facing you. skip the next 2 stitches. This is 1, 2. We're going to skip both of those and slip stitch into the 3rd stitch. Now this next part feels really funny. I think this is where people get stuck. I turn my work to the left so that my running yarn goes behind the chicken's head. It feels really tight and awkward, but you're doing it correctly. We're going to yarn over and begin our first double crochet. The chain 2 right here, this counts as the first stitch of our row. So here is where we're going to put all of the next 7 stitches. They're all going to go right here where our stitch marker is. So yarn over, double crochet. We have 2 double crochets now. We want a total of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. They're all in the same stitch right there. Now skip the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, slip stitch into the 3rd. And this is what row 1 of your chicken head is going to look like when it's done. To begin row 2, we're going to chain 2 stitches. Remember, this counts as our first double crochet. Skip 2, slip stitch into the 3rd. Turn your work. For this row, we need to increase in the first stitch. So we're going to put a double crochet into the first stitch where our chain 2 is. We're going to increase in each stitch around. So put 2 double crochets in every stitch until the end of your row. So I've got 4 stitches. We're going to end up with 16 here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My yarn's getting a little tangled here. 11, 12, another one, another 2 right here, 13, 14, and 2 in our last chain 2 here. So this will be 15 and 16. Okay, skip the next 2 stitches. We're skipping this one and this one, slip stitching into the 3rd. You know, this is what your chicken head should look like at the end of row 2. All right, this is our final row. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches and slip stitch. Okay, see how the wrong side of the stitches is facing us? Turn your work again so that the right side is facing you. For this round, we're going to increase in the first stitch and then single crochet in the next. We'll repeat that pattern until the end of the row. So here's double crochet number 1. Increase into that same stitch. Now 1 double crochet into the next. And 2 double crochet into the next. One double crochet. Two double crochet. One double crochet. Two double crochet. One double crochet. Two double crochet. And you're going to need one more double crochet in the very last stitch right here. Skip 2 stitches and then slip stitch. Okay, and you can see now your chicken head is done. You're not going to fasten off here because we're going to go right into crocheting the wing on the left side of the body. Begin crocheting the left wing of the chicken. We're going to slip stitch in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 2. And put 4 double crochet into the next stitch. This stitch right here. There's 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch into the following. And your first little wing is done, so we're going to repeat that. Okay, so this side of my chicken is looking a little wonky because I had to frog the wings on this side. It happens to the best of us, right? So I'm going to try this again. We need to attach our yarn 13 stitches down from the chicken's head. So here's where the chicken's head meets the body. We're going to look for that stitch right there. Go 13 stitches down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, let's start our first wing. Chain 2 and 4 double crochet into the next stitch. I like to take the tail of the yarn and work it into some of my stitches just to really secure everything. It's just a little quirk I have when I'm crocheting. You don't have to do this, but if you see me doing that, that's why. Here's our first double crochet. 1, 2, I'm going to drop my yarn tail here. 3 and 4. There's our first wing on the right side. Skip 1 stitch and slip stitch into the next. Chain 2, 4 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch into the next. Chain 2, 4 double crochet into the following stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch into the last stitch. And you're going to have roughly 3, you might have 4, but 3 or 4 stitches left here. And this is what your chickie is looking like. You can go ahead and cut that yarn and fasten off. Okay, now it is time to work on the accessories for our chicken. All you need is a very small amount of yarn for this part of the pattern. I've got about this much red. This will be enough for probably a few chickens. I'm going to use Cotton DK weight yarn for this because I have this on hand already. This is Canary. This is also Cotton. I'm not sure of the exact color. It's just a nice bright red. But I've used worsted weight for this part of the pattern as well. You can use any scraps that you have on hand for the chicken's accessories. So just grab whatever red and yellow yarn you have and some black for the eyes. I'm going to start with the comb of the chicken. Make sure for the accessories we're going to switch over to our G hook. Find the centermost stitch on your chicken's head. Just eyeball it, guys. It's not really that critical. I'm going to say this is the centermost stitch on my chicken's head. Count 2 stitches to the right and attach your yarn there. Chain 2. And then 4 double crochet into the next stitch. Remember, this is me just being quirky. I'm going to pick up my yarn tail just for 1 stitch. I guess 1.5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then slip stitch again into that same stitch. Now we've got a little loop here so we can hang our chicken trivet. Slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 2. And then 4 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip 1 stitch and slip stitch. Go ahead and cut the yarn and fasten off. Now we're going to work on the bow beard. Using your red yarn and your G hook, go ahead and make a magic ring. chain 3, and 3 double crochet into the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Slip stitch, chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3 double crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, and pull your ring tight to close. You can go ahead and fasten off your working yarn. Leave a long tail because we're going to need to wrap the tail around the center of the bow and also use it to sew it to the chicken's head. Just go ahead and wrap the tail around the center of the bow a couple of times. I tie it in the back like this to secure it. All right, there you have your cute little bow. When we get ready to sew this on, I use this little hole here kind of as a gauge as to where to put the bow beard. I'd place it right about there. Okay, time for the beak. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in the first chain next to the hook. Single crochet into the next stitch. Half double crochet into the next. And double crochet into the final stitch. And that's it. Fasten off. I place the beak right above the bow beard, right about here. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks for sewing. Go ahead and grab your yarn needle. When I sew the accessories on, I just grab a couple of loops and work my sewing right through those loops so that you don't see the stitches on the back side of the trivet. And I just tack this down a couple of times. See, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm just going to grab a couple loops here. And then I'm going to tie these two pieces together and hide it right underneath the bow. You can do the eyes of the chicken a couple of different ways. I have in the past just pulled some black yarn through a couple loops and simply tied a bunch of knots. This is the easiest way to do it. Just tie a few knots. Then you can work the tails of the yarn to the back. And then just tie it off right there. Or you can do some French knots, which I also like to do. If you know how to do those, that's a good option as well. So let's finish up these eyes. Your Swanky chicken is complete. Isn't it cute? All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great day.